Hello, I'm Rick Torbett with another edition of Coach Ahead. I have a special treat for you this month from Andy Garcia on how to train a beginner to shoot the ball. Andy and I have been friends for over 15 years. Our relationship began with me as his shot trainer, and it soon developed into Andy contributing courses in ball handling for better basketball. In the meantime, during the last decade or more, Andy has developed into one of the best all-around basketball trainers that I've seen. I recently spent 7 straight days with him, observing his training methods for all age groups, and it was simply fantastic. You can find him and contact him on his website at Elite Basketball Training by Andy Garcia. His training home is at the Gym Legacy in Laredo, Texas. This is a fabulous facility with everything an athlete needs to get to the next level. A perfect complement to Andy's skill training. The staff was friendly and professional, a first-class operation. If I lived nearby, I would be a member. Okay, without further ado, here's Andy.
All right, so normally what we do is I'll have the player or the kid, I'll have them shoot for the first 5 shots, see how their shot form looks, and then from there, if I see that most kids that start off when they shoot, they'll come here, and there's 2 things that they normally do. They'll either come right here and they'll use their right shoulder, right? If they're right-handed, they'll use their right shoulder and they'll dip that right shoulder down, and then they'll turn and shoot, right? That's one way. And another way is a lot of kids, they'll come right here. They might start off from from the shot pocket right in the middle, or they might cover their face, and then they just shoot the ball. They shoot the ball up, and then they bring their hands down immediately. And once I see that, I'll tell kids, all right, I'll have them shoot the basketball. I tell them you got to make sure you hold that follow through. Make sure you point those 4 fingers all the way down to the ground. And for the most part, when I tell them to hold the follow through, I'll show them at first. I'll show them my form. I'll be like, all right, you got to hold the follow through. Even if it goes out, you hold that wrist up there. That way you can see where your wrist is pointing. So the minute the player goes for the shot again, they might snap the wrist, but when they snap the wrist, same thing. Same exact thing. They'll let go of that arm, and the wrist goes down, arm goes down immediately. Then I'll have them repeat the same step. All right, now let's hold it for 3 seconds. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3, and then we'll drop it. Sometimes they might that adds a little more improvement, so they might go right here. They'll fall through, and then they let go on the second one, or on 2 seconds they'll let go. So they let go before the ball hits the rim or before it goes in. So after that, I'll be like, okay, now let's take it a step further, right? If you can't hold it for 3 seconds, right? Some kids are able to understand that, where they got to hold it for 3 seconds, and some kids don't. So you have to change the scenario. All right, now pretend. Then I'll have kids. All right, now you got to pose for the camera. So pretend like you're taking a picture of the player, right? And then as they shoot it, and if they don't hold the follow through, sometimes I'll take a picture and I'll be like, all right, you came on the camera in the picture like this. I want you right here. You got to pose. You got to pose for that picture and leave it up there. So when it comes to that point, after I show them the picture and they see their form, they see one hand going up, one hand going down, they kind of understand that philosophy. And then from there, they'll go to the next step. All right.
So let me interrupt. So you actually have your phone here, and you just take a.
I'll take a quick picture, or I'll record them. Either or. I'll record them. Either or. And then from there, if they're still having problems for some, that usually does a trick. But if they still having problems, then what I like to do is, we'll just work on their form shots. So we'll put the ball down, and then I'll have them align their feet. I'll tell players, make sure your right foot, if you're right-handed, your right foot can be slightly ahead, or you can have it right in line with your left foot. Either or vice versa. If you're left-handed, you can have that left foot slightly ahead, or you can have it even right where your right foot's at. But at the end of the day, as long as your right foot and left foot are shoulder width apart, not too wide, not too close, just enough where you get good balance on your feet, because that's crucial. That's step number 1 when it comes to shooting, is getting your feet balanced, making sure both right foot, left foot are pointing to the goal. You got your feet lined up, you got your hips lined up, and then you got your shoulders as well lined up to the goal. and then from there we'll just work on hand placement on the ball. So we'll have, if they're right-handed, I'll tell the kids, make sure that palm is facing up. A lot of kids start off right here. I want that palm all the way up. Let's see how far you can bend that wrist back. All right. Some kids aren't able to get that wrist all the way back, but if this is the farthest that they can bend that wrist, then that's the farthest. Then that's the farthest that they can. So what I have them do is, all right, you got the palm up. Now that automatically, by having the palm up, that automatically gets that elbow in, just like this. From there, I have their left hand in the side, and then from there we just work on a form shot. So I have this. I'll have the player start off on the triple threat stance, just like this. So I'll say triple threat, and then when I say follow through, you're gonna jump and shoot. So when they follow through, they gotta hold that follow through up there, as if they have the ball in their hands. So we'll start off step one. First thing I do is I check their feet. We got the right foot, left foot, both are aligned to the basket, right? From there, all right, get your knees slightly bent, right? Now we get our hands set, all right? Palm is up, left hand to the side. This is our true triple threat stance. From there, we're gonna go up and then we're gonna rise up. As we're going up, also our knees are going up too. So when I say follow through, I'll usually have the player, they'll come to their shot. They don't have to jump, or they can jump. That's totally up to them. If they don't jump, then make sure you enforce them on making sure our wrist and our left hand stays up. Fingers down. We got our 4 fingers here: pinky, ring finger, middle finger, index finger, pointing to the ceiling, and making sure they hold that follow through. Most of the time, they'll get that. They'll come here and they got to hold it up, and making sure our eyes are not at the trainer's eyes. They're not looking at the trainer's eyes, but they're looking at the rim, because we got to make it realistic, as if we had that ball in our hands. So we're right here. We start on that triple threat stance, and then we'll follow through right there. Once they're able to hold a follow through with no problems, then we go to the next step. All right, now we're at that jump to our shot. So we're right here on that same thing. We're on that triple threat stance. We start right here. This is step one. I tell kids, there's only 2 steps to shooting. Step 1 right here. Step 2 is just from here, go up. Don't even think about it. Don't come here. It's not step 1, step 2, step 3. It's just step 1 here, and then step 2 is boom. You just pop up off the ground. That's it. Make it as easy as possible. So a lot of times, we tend to, or trainers, coaches, we want to make sure we make shooting as easy as possible, because in reality it is. It's the easiest thing in the world if you teach it this way. We're right here, step 1, hands are set, my elbow is automatically in. Step 2, I'm gonna jump and follow through, hold that follow through, and making sure my wrist is bent all the way. Some kids might start like this, right here, and they're like this. And I tell kids to hold the follow through, because we got to see exactly where that wrist is pointing. Most of the times, you're not gonna start off perfect and getting those 4 fingers down. So if the first time you do that follow through, you follow through, but your wrist is pointing to the right, then all you gotta do from there is just correct yourself. Okay, right there, that's where I need my wrist to be. And then you just keep on doing rep after reps. Usually I'll have them do it 10 times, and each time they'll get better and better. Then the next step is watching their feet, how they land, where is their right foot, left foot pointing after the basket, right? Some kids, they'll come right here, they'll start off on a good triple threat stance, they'll follow through, everything's perfect, but as they follow through, boom, they turn their hips. Now they're facing the opposite side, or left side, for the most part. If you're right-handed, most players will turn their hips towards their left, right here. And that's a big problem when it comes to shooting. You got to make sure either you jump up and down straight, or you can jump slightly forward. But if you jump forward, we're making sure our hips are still in line to the goal. That's crucial, making sure our shot is always on line to the basket. I tell kids, as long as you're missing straight, you're short, you're long, or you're in and out. Those are the 3 misses that you want. If you are going to miss, just those 3 types of misses. We're not missing left, or we're not missing to the right. Everything is right, accurate. I'd rather you miss 10 shots going straight than missing 10 shots, 5 going left, 5 going right. Then we're having some problems there. So the next step is, all right, once we're able to follow the principles of making sure our feet are in line, making sure our feet land, making sure our feet also, I forgot to mention that our feet have to land at the same time. Sometimes you'll see kids, if they'll shoot the basketball and they're here, they'll land on one foot and then bring down the right foot, or vice versa. So we got to make sure that both feet, they land at the same time. We're here, boom, right here. 2 feet land at the same time while we hold that fall through. After they hold the fall through, you look down for your, they have to look down at their feet. All right, they're both pointing towards the basket. Perfect. Now you're able to follow that part or pass that test. Now at the basketball to it. All right, get my feet lined up to the rim. My right foot straight, my left foot straight. I'm shoulder width apart. Okay. Now get my hands set. Okay. You want that, make sure that ball is right under. Right, we got the eyes up, not too much close to your chin. Obviously not right here towards our eyes, then we can't see the goal. So I'll tell them, all right, you're able to follow through at the basketball. Now I tell them with the basketball, it's the same exact thing. Nothing changes, right? Step 1 is right here. Step 1, we got that good triple threat stance. From there, making sure the player does not dip the ball again and go for that shot. They got to start from right here. This is step 1. Step 2 is going right into your follow through. There's no pause into that shot. So once they have that good stance on their feet, they got a good bent on the knees, because making sure all the power has to come from the legs first, not from the shoulders, not from the wrists. Everything is here first, legs. We need a good base in the legs, making sure we're also in balance. And then after this part, then from here, as we're rising up, as the ball is going up, just imagine you have picture yourself an imaginary line right in front of you. Everything's going straight. Ball's going straight up. My whole body's in sync. Now my legs are getting involved. You'll see a lot of times kids come here, ball goes up, but then their knees are still bent. You have to make sure as the ball's coming up, my knees are going up. And then from there, they hold that fall through, and then usually I'll tell them to hold that fall through until it goes in. That way they can see the ball going first. They see their arms. Okay, I got my left hand straight right here. My 4 fingers are pointing down to the ground, and then I got my feet straight. All right, perfect. And then we'll usually rep that, maybe have them make 5 with good form, where that way they get used to that feel. Okay? Because making sure our wrist is pointing down is the key right there. Once they develop that follow through and they're holding that wrist all the way until that ball goes in, they're not only working on their muscle memory on their wrists and their fingertips, but they're also getting their own feedback. So if they shoot the basketball and they hold a follow through, they hold it up. They might have missed it. Okay, I missed in and out. So I did too much legs, but at the same time, they're watching their fingers, they're watching their hand. Okay, perfect. I didn't miss left or right, so that was a good shot. So I have to make sure the next time I shoot it, I gotta shoot a little softer. And so when you go for your next shot, same exact thing. You're getting set here, okay? From there, I gotta go up in a straight line. We're not going to the left, we're not going to the right here. Everything's going straight. I hold my fall through, making sure that these 4 fingers are pointing down to the ground. So I'm right here. I hold it up. All right, check. All right, I made it, yes, but now I gotta see my wrist. Perfect. All right, my wrist is pointing straight to the goal. Left hand's up, and then all right, then we keep on going from there. 5 in a row.
Just like you would ask the kid.
Okay. So same thing, and then sometimes I'll have the kids do a dribble. I'll have them pretend like they're doing a free throw, so they can. And as they're doing a free throw, routine, I always tell them just keep it simple, 1 to 3 dribbles. You don't need no more than that. Keep it simple. That way you're going to that free throw fast. So sometimes I'll have them go 2 dribbles or 1 dribble, right? After that second dribble, they get in that stance, that good triple threat stance, and from there, same thing. They go up, hold it up. Check for fingers up, fingers down. Okay, perfect. All right, that's once they get 2. Same thing, same method. Right feet are set. I get my hands in that right position. Same exact thing. I go up, I rise up, hold my fall through. Perfect. That's 3. Same thing. I get my knees bent first. That's crucial. Step 1 is getting those legs involved into that shot. So I'm right here. Legs are bent. Perfect. As I go up, no pause at all. Hold my fall through. Perfect. And then as a player, you have to tell the player, all right, it went in that time, yes, but it hit the front of the rim. It was a little short bit. That backspin made it go in. I need to shoot slightly a little harder. So a little more legs into that shot. Same thing. I'm already set right here. I go up, I hold my follow through, and just like that, I adjusted from that previous shot. I was short and then it went in. Second time went in a lot smoother. Same thing here. Get my hands set here. Everything's set. I go up, no problem, no hesitation. Everything going up quick. Hold my follow through. So usually I'll have to make 5 with perfect form before we go any farther back. But for the most part, I like to start close just to see how their shot looks. For the most part, kids usually have good forms when they start off up close. And I tell them, all right, if you're capable of shooting this with good form up close, then you're capable of shooting the same way, from a farther distance. Now you just have to get used. You have to get used to that feel, little by little, by following that follow through, making sure that we land 2 feet, and making sure our stance, our feet are pointing to the goal after we land. And make sure that's crucial. Make sure our feet land and are pointing to the basket at the same time. Right? Or here, hold my follow through. I look at my feet. They're still in line to the goal. All right, that was a good shot. And then once they make 5 up close, I'll usually have them step back. Okay, now let's make 5 from right here. We'll go 5 from midway free throw line. Same exact thing. You can add a little jump to it. Hold that follow through. Perfect. Same exact thing. Right foot, left foot to the goal. All right, shoulder width apart. So you can take a dribble or 2 if you want. Get that good stance. Rise up. Get those fingers down as well. Sometimes you'll see kids, they'll follow through. They're like this. That's very common. They're here, right there. I tell kids, you got to get these 2, especially if you want to be a real great shooter. You got to get at least these 2 all the way down. Index finger and middle finger all the way down. That'll add a little more feel with your fingertips as you're releasing from the ball. So same exact thing, right? If the first time I went like this with my fingertips, I'm gonna make sure next time I get these 2 fingers at least a little more extension. That way I can get a better feel, and you're working also on getting a better backspin on that basketball. So I'm right here, set. Get my 2 fingers down. There it is, right there. And sometimes if you get a good feel, it hits the back of the rim going in. You'll get that shot where the ball comes back to you. And that was a perfect shot right there. No rebounder, just right there, shot. Hold that follow through, same exact thing. Work on that flexibility on the wrist is crucial, because you're able to now not only work on adjusting your wrist, but if you're in a situation where you're in a game and your legs are spent, you're a fourth quarter and your legs are not where they need to be. And I told you before, right, that the shot comes from the legs, but right now you have no legs. And then you got to go to the next step, would be to adjusting your wrists. All right, now, okay, my legs are not where they need to be. I'm still going to use them to whatever I have in the tank, but I'm going to now use the adjustment on my wrist control. So if I was like this before, getting a good nice snap, this time I'm going to snap it just a little harder snap. That way I get my legs involved more, or get my wrist involved more on my shot. There's different levels when it comes to shooting. You might feel good in the first and second quarter with your legs into your shot. When it comes to the third, fourth quarter, if they're not there, then you have to be able to learn how to use the adjustment of your wrist. All right, I gotta snap it a little bit harder now, just because my legs aren't where they need to be. So you're working on 2 things, but the first step is right here, is work on the legs. Once you get the legs going, then you got to get that wrist going as well. So it's legs and wrists. Those two will get your shot right there where it needs to be. And you hold that follow through just to make sure everything's in proper alignment. Perfect right there. Same thing, right? Get my right foot, left foot straight. Hold my follow through. At the same time, I missed that one. Now you got to, as a player, as you're missing, you got to see, how did I miss? All right, I missed long right there. So that tells you, as a player, I got to shoot a little bit softer on my next shot. Most kids, when they're in the game, they'll shoot a basketball, and as they shoot, they miss it. They're going back on defense, and 9 out of 10 times, they're going to forget how they missed. It's very important to look at why and how you missed. That way, the next shot comes, you're more prepared. All right? I shot too hard. The next shot, I'm going to shoot just a little bit softer. But I was straight. I was accurate on my shot. So It wasn't an off shot. It was right on target. The next time I shoot that basketball, a little soft on my wrist, but same shot. I just adjust it just a slight bit. Perfect right there. And then you have to be able to, players have to be able to be their own trainers in the games. Game time comes, more than likely a coach is not gonna tell you, you gotta shoot, you gotta hold your fall through, or you gotta make sure you use your legs to your shot. You're not using your legs. For the most part, they're gonna get after you for a bad pass or for not, finishing a layup, stuff like that. So when it comes to shots, you have to make sure that you're your own trainer and you're always looking at those little details. All right, I missed short, I missed long, I missed left, I missed right. What do I gotta do to adjust there? So as a player, that's why we had to start up close, because that way we get a good feel of the basketball. We get a good fall through on our wrist and our fingertips. That way, as we get farther out, it's no different from shooting from a free throw to up close. It's the same exact thing. The only difference is now I'm adding a little more leg power and then the same fall through. So if I go now back to the free throw line, it should be the same. It should be the same thing. I got my right foot, left foot pointing to the goal. You can take a couple of dribbles if you want, or do your free throw routine, right? I'm right here. I get set from here. Same thing. All I gotta do is go back to what I did from the beginning. Nothing changes. I'm here. I get set on my triple threat stance. From there, I rise up, hold my fall through. Only difference now, I gotta add a little more leg strength to my shot, but nothing changes. Right here, I get set. I come up, hold my fall through. I look at my fingers, I look at my wrist. Okay, perfect. I tell kids, if you make that shot, you gotta do the exact same thing on the next shot. Nothing changes at all. You make that first one, do the same exact thing. Give me a replay of that same shot. Hold it right there, hold right there. That was it right there. Now, the hard part is doing that over and over and over. Get set right here. Hold my fall through. Just like that. Every single time you're watching your fingers. Getting your legs involved first. It's legs, step one. Fall through, step two right here. And same thing applies as you get a little farther and farther back. Nothing changes on that shot. I see sometimes a lot of kids, they come right here and they might, as they get farther back, and if they have to change their form just a little bit, then, okay, we got to start off back here then. This is your range. This is your range with good form. From the inside, from layup range, all the way to free throw range. The minute you see them change their shot just a little bit, they might start here. You'll notice that they might come here and they might just dip the ball to the right just a little bit. All right, you're not ready to shoot this far yet. I need you to get perfect form from right here, and then we got to develop that perfect form little by little as you get farther and farther. And normally I'll have kids make 2 in a row per spot. 2 in a row on the inside, 2 in a row here, 2 in a row inside the free throw line, and then from there 2 in a row, and then we keep on going 2 in a row, and we just keep on looking at their form, see how it looks. If they're able to not change their form whatsoever, right, they could add a little jump to it, nothing changes, you can go farther and farther back until you see any slight change on their form. Right there, shot, hold the fall through, everything is good, and then you start going farther and farther, see where your range is at. See where your range is at. Little by little. Hold that release. As I missed that one, oh, I missed to the left. I missed slightly to the left. All right, so my next shot should not be the same one. It should be going straight, or let's see, we're going slightly to the left again. So, a little more leg to my shot. Right here. Hold my wrist. And right there, right? Gotta hold that fall through. No, most of the time, if you hold that fall through, you're gonna get a better percentage on your shot as opposed to just chunking it up there and bringing the arms down. That's the easiest thing to do. The easiest thing to do is just come here, fall through for a split second, and bring that ball down. If you're just starting out, you have to work on holding that release. I'm here, I hold it. All right, right there, it was short. If it's short, I may need more legs, or I gotta shoot the ball a little bit higher. Either or. I get my feet set, more legs this time, more better. Then you're on to the next shot. Same thing. Try to get 2 in a row. Right there. Hold that release. Hold that release. And then same thing. Nothing changes in the shot. Nothing changes. Hold that release every single time. Before you know it, it's going to be muscle memory. But we got to start off by holding that follow through. We can't just snap the wrist and let go of it right away. We have to develop first the proper mechanics. Hold that follow through. Hold that follow through. Before you know it, as you get used to that holding that follow through, then you'll be at a point where as I follow through, I won't have to hold it as much because I already worked on it. I've already developed it. And when it comes to another point I forgot to mention is that wrist. Whenever we snap that wrist, right, every player is different. Sometimes you might look at the rim, the front of the rim, the back of the rim, or maybe in the net. Wherever you look at, everyone's different. But as far as that wrist, for the most part, when I'm looking at the front of the rim or the whole circle of the rim, I'm not just looking at the rim itself, but I'm also looking at my wrist. I'm not looking at it directly at it, but I'm looking at my wrist with my peripherals. And this gives me more or less of a guide that I know exactly where that ball's gonna go. So if I follow through right here, I hold my follow through. All right, I can see my wrist slightly go to the right, just a little bit. That's all it needs. So with my peripherals, I'm looking at my wrists. That's huge when it comes to when it comes to shooting the basketball. I'm right here. I start off on my stance. There, that's straight right there. I can tell right off the bat, but I'm looking at the rim, but at the same time, I'm looking at my wrist. I can see my wrist from my peripherals snapping straight. That's the key right